AMG episode number 68. We are here with a very special episode because we've got from location. We've got Shari and Brad on the road. So let me start. Shari and Brad by proxy. How are you?
It's been a wonderful morning, to say the least. Now we are on the road. We drove to Montreal on Thursday, and we're on our way back to Halifax now on the second leg of this journey. So how many hours? 3 more hours, and we should be in Halifax. 3.5.
There you go. So we've done the Shari from the car before, but this one is from a greater distance. We'll touch on a little bit, a couple of things they were at, but we'll get back to that in a moment. So let me go this way. Let me go bonus player. How are you today?
I am fine. I'm a little cold. My joints are still frozen from 3.5 hours of ice chipping yesterday, but I'm here, back in my nice cozy office
Nice. And
where nothing happens.
when the moment is right. Oh no, something has happened. When the moment is right, Blair, just when you thought all was lost, Blair may have totally redeemed himself, at least in my eyes. We'll get to that in a little bit. Steve, collector of scalps, collector of people. How are you?
I am well rested. I spent had 2 days off, and what was yesterday called? Family Day.
Around here was Family Day. I assume it was similar for you guys.
Yeah.
I spent the day by myself, so I'm great.
Nice.
There you go. One is the loneliest number, and
goodness.
Steve embraces it. I like it. Sounds fair. So we'll touch on a couple of things last week here, and as always, I mentioned if there's any comments or anything, always feel free to include them. We didn't get any of our usual comments, so I can only assume people froze. I can only assume there was some freezing going on. So nonetheless, if there are comments there, we always welcome them, and they'll always be addressed in the following episode. And also, I will mention if there is anything more pressing, we're going to talk about some products and everything. We'll talk about 2425 O-Pee-Chee is a new one that's coming in that I'll talk about, but we will list off some other things that are coming in. If there is any questions, though, on quantities, pricing, any of that, reach out directly to the store. That's the best way, and that way you'll get a quicker answer and then a more direct answer because you can't provide those on social media unless you have the right type of licensing. We talked about that in the past. But to get the direct answer, contact the store directly, and that's the best way.
Mhm.
One other thing we'll touch on real quick here, as I said. So commentary-wise, we appreciate everybody's support on last week's episode, so we'll try to keep that going. Allure. Let me ask this question first. I'll read the products for the new ones. 2425 Allure was the new one last week. How did that go? Feedback on that? So far, so good. People like it. What are the feelings and thoughts?
I think we got halfway through our allotment, so I would say it was a successful release. And of course, the Allure with the color flow and those issues inside the product, it is quite popular. So I would say it was a success, and and the price point's not terrible on it either. So something a little, price wise, it makes more sense.
Sounds good. I like it. So as far as the new product is concerned, as I said, we're going to do 2425, but there are some other items that came in, and a lot of them are going to be restocks. Again, quantities, pricing, and everything you ask away. I'll read a couple of these through quickly, Shari, but if there's any one that you want to make a note of, I'll read the first list here, and if there's anyone you want to make a note on, you can let me know. So a lot of these are kind of, so I see here 2 back-to-school pencil cases. So are we getting excited for Blair? The timing on the back-to-school is like, we need to look at the calendar. I think that's kind of interesting. So we got Pokemon EX box Houndstone. So that's on there. EX box Roaring Moon / Iron Valiant. Paradox Rift Elite Trainer box. Twilight Masquerade blister packs. These are all Pokemon. Stellar Crown blister packs. And then it's an acrylic box display. But any of those specific products stand out that are worth making a note on?
No, all these are restocks. We've had them in store before. The pencil case, it's kind of cute. It has the metal pencil case, and I think there's 2 packs in that one. But the other one's kind of general. I think there's 4 or 5 packs in the EX boxes. Blair, you might remember too. There's 4 or 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah. And I'm buying a pencil case.
Well, listen, as you said, look, all I got to say is wake me up when I hear the Cheese Stringamon. If Cheese Stringamon's any of these checklists, I'm interested. Otherwise, I'm a little lukewarm. But if you are interested, they will be available in store, and you could ask.
And on those acrylic boxes, we are bringing those back in. So that's the acrylic display boxes for booster boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's got some booster boxes that they're hanging on to and they want to display them, we will have them in.
I need one.
Nice.
I'll charge you.
There you go. Well,
Okay.
Sherry, you can go to AMG Collectibles and you may find some there.
3 hours.
So let's. So here on the rest of the list here, we've got a 2025 Kakawao. We've had a lot of them Kakawao. So Cosmos, Warner Brothers, we got that on there. 2024 Panini Prism Racing. There's another Pokemon here. So 2025 Tin Azure Legends, we've got that. Prismatic Evolutions, 2-pack blister, we've got on here. We've got Sportscard.com Jersey Fusion Rookie First Edition, so that's on there. 2024 Garbage Pail Kids Chrome, easy for me to say. So we've got that on there. And then we've got 2024 Upper Deck Metal Universe Champions Hockey. So that product we've talked about in the past. And then the new one, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, is the 24-25 Upper Deck O-Pee-Chee Hockey. So that's on there. So that's kind of a specific product that we'll touch on in a couple of minutes. But those are some of the new products coming in the store. Perfect. Separate from that, one of the big things we'll remind everybody coming up here, we'll get dates and everything. Check the social medias because the trade night and card show will be coming up here sooner rather than later. It is a short month in February, so just keep an eye on that. Is there any room left, Sherry, for tables or anything contact-wise that we should note?
Yeah, so the trade night will be Friday 5 to 8 on the 21st, and the show is 9 to 3 Saturday, February 22nd. I think I'm at about 115 tables right now, so we're getting close to our number. I do still have a few spots left, so if you are interested in booking a table, just send me an email to amgbedford@gmail.com, and I'll send you over the info.
Well, also too, things happen. If it turns out that you can't make the show, let Sherry know as soon as possible, because that number is getting close to the end. So there'll probably be more people looking for tables than we have available. So if for whatever reason you can't make it, let Sherry know ASAP.
Very nice. Sounds good.
Yeah,
So we got that
helps.
on there. Now, one thing we'll touch on here, I'll show a couple of cards that came in the store that Steve provided, and then we'll finish up with 24-25 O-Pee-Chee. So let me start off with these. I'll showcase these items. So it looks like, from what I can see, it looks like we've got a bunch of modern here. So we're going to share that and showcase that here. There we go. So first one we've got from Clear Cut, we got the Moritz Cider. This is the number to 15. So we got the rookie. It is an on-card auto. It is a nice acetate design, which is always kind of a good one. Exclusives out of 15. So very solid on there. That's a good start. Sticking with the autographs, we got Extra Significance from SP Game Use Hockey. Very thematically appropriate because I think this is Marc-Andre Fleury's last season. I think this is a retirement tour right now going on. So we got Brodeur and Marc-Andre Fleury, both numbered to 15. Numbered to 25 out of SP Game Use, which is a great one. Extra Significance. So a great looking insert there if you like your autographs. Sticking on the Marc-Andre Fleury train, we've got Scripts for Success from SP Authentic there. On-card auto again, and this one's numbered to 100, so very solid. This one here's a good one if you're familiar with these. This is from 98, 99, I believe, O-Pee-Chee Chrome. This is the Wayne Gretzky. This is the Blast from the Past. So this is where they reprinted the rookie. And they do have a refractor version of this as well, but the chromium and the refractor versions are very popular. So this one's in a PSA 9 on this one. Okay, we got Rookie Team Jumbos, or Moritz Cider again, number 25 on this one. So you've got yourself a kind of an emblem, kind of with the old style D for Detroit. And then you do have an autograph on here. This one is a sticker auto. You can tell that from the little hologram on there. But design-wise, I think it blends. So sometimes the sticker kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. On this one, for the most part, it blends in. You can still tell because of the hologram. But this one, I think they did a better job hiding it than most of the examples I've seen. And to finish up here, we've got an old school player on a new school card. This is 0809 SP Game Used Edition. Significant swatches. Gordie Howe. So we've got this in a BGS 9 with 10 autograph here. Number to 50. This one is also a sticker auto. This one's from 0809. And 0809, Gordie was still signing. His signature was still reasonably intact. It did get a little shaky at the end. But in 08, it wasn't too bad. Now, one thing that I think is kind of funny on this one, and this is a pet peeve I know with some folks, is that you got Gordie on here, you got his autograph, he's Mr. Hockey and everything, very clearly in a Detroit Red Wings jersey, and very clearly that jersey is a Hartford Whalers jersey.
Yes.
Yeah. It's green.
I think it adds to the appeal of the card, but yes, it definitely is a little odd.
Yeah, it's very Christmassy. If you want to go with the Christmas theme, you've got the color scheme for Christmas. I will say it is a pet peeve for some collectors to have the jersey not match the item on the card. But I can tell you, I've shown it in the past on my YouTube channel. I have an example of a Marion Hossa. That's one of the worst ones because they have him. I can't remember the sequencing, but they've got him. I think the jersey pieces are Atlanta. The image that they've got him on is Pittsburgh, and then he's listed as a Red Wing. So you've got literally three different things on the same card, which technically were all true at one point, but
Yeah.
not on the same card at the same time, and it's just weird. I just thought it was very
Both
funny.
right. I still like
Yeah,
the
so-
Gordy. That was my favorite.
Oh yeah, the Gordy's good, but like I said, having the Hartford Whalers pieces on there was it sticks out a little bit like a sore thumb comparatively. But again, it's very Christmassy. If you like your Christmas colors, we got that covered for you. So that is on there. So again, if you ever see any cars and you're curious if they're available or anything, inquire directly, reach out to the store, and then they can provide you that information. Okay. So I think we're going to touch on a couple of things here with Shari since we've got her on here coming back. So two things. You attended, I guess, did they call it Montreal Expo or Quebec Expo, Shari?
Quebec. Yeah, it was in
Okay,
Quebec.
so Quebec
not
Expo
Montreal.
over there.
Yeah, so the Quebec Expo. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Brad and our flight was canceled on Thursday or Wednesday. It got canceled. We were supposed to fly out Thursday, and we made a very prompt decision to pack a bag Wednesday night and headed off through the blizzard Thursday morning. So it took us about, for people who are familiar, it took us just over 9 hours to get to Edmonton. And we got about 5 minutes past Edmonton and had to stop. So that was at about 3 o'clock, and we were put for the night. Then we got up the next morning. We drove to Quebec and we stopped. They actually had the International Pee Wee tournament going on at the Videotron Center. So there was lots and lots of people around. But the show was over, and I think it was called the Grand March. I think that was called, is what the hall was called. Excuse me. No, but it was a great spot. There was lots of little markets there. You are? Oh, I didn't get there yet. Like peeping in on my story here. Sorry, I was supposed to say that before we got to the Quebec show, we stopped in Beauport because Brad used to play for the Beauport Harfangs. So we
You don't say.
went back.
Go on.
We went back to the rink. He remembered absolutely nothing about the area. He did remember the rink, but he didn't know where we were. He didn't know where he lived. Nothing. Just where he played hockey, which is fine. But it was really nice to be able to go there and after 30 years and revisit.
You can't take 30 years off and expect to know what's going on around there, Shari.
Yeah.
I go back to my university. I used to do it semi regularly, and I'd like to get back to doing it. But I used to go there every year or every other year. So it's not. So they didn't completely rebuild the city on me. You after 30 years, you're going to lose track. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So after we left Beauport, then we went over to the show, and like I said, the market. There was a nice market there. I got a lot of chocolate, a lot of homemade chocolates. But the show itself, it was nice. I mean, it was small, obviously, but it was a great setup, great location for it. It'll be interesting to see how that grows over the coming years as it goes on. So we were there, and just as we were leaving, we actually ran into Phil, the loud collector from Hockey Card Gong Show. So we chatted with him for a few moments, and we got back on the road and made our way to Montreal.
There you go. Now, question for you. I'll ask you one question, then we'll talk about the four nations here. So real quick, when you guys were there, obviously they had the same kind of inclement kind of weather that we've got. You know, obviously we talked about you guys over in Atlantic Canada, a bunch of snowstorms. I think same thing. We had two or three kind of consecutive storms hit us one after another. I know it canceled my plans. I had a plan for the Monday to attend a card show. It was just too much. I was kind of snowed in a little bit here, and and I have people for that. I have people to snow my way out, but even then we were kind of occupied. I know that I think GP Sports, who is going to attend that show in Quebec, they weren't able to make the trip. And I know some people who were trying to fly in also weren't able to make the trip. So do you feel like that affected the show quite a bit?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but surprisingly, many of the vendors still got there. For instance, Matt Chang from home, he ended up leaving, I think he said at midnight. When was that? Friday? And he drove overnight to the show and hadn't slept, so he got there as well. But we seen Yannick. Ran into Yannick at the show.
Yep.
There was a few other people, but I mean, overall, no, I don't think it really affected the vendors that were there. I know there was a few missing, but overall, no.
All right. No, I
Which
think
is
that's fair.
surprising because the weather was absolutely horrendous. I mean, even now I'm bouncing around, but I can show we're on the highway here and it's still a little blizzardy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why I thought I would ask. I would pose the question that was there. So since we're going to go into Four Nations here in a second, but since we don't have any pictures from the show, Blair, I think we'll show one. We'll acknowledge one image. And since Shari brought it up, so there's Yannick. There's Yannick, Shari, and Brad. So we do have one photo. We have one photo acknowledging the period of the card show, and it's not really about the card show, but I just thought I would bring it up. Buddy of mine and friend of my channel as well, Yannick. Good dude, and he's from Quebec, so for him it's kind of his home kind of show. He's usually around at the expos as well, but I thought it was kind of funny. So since you brought it up, Shari, I got this covered. I got
absolutely.
the visual.
I'm glad you had it.
All right, perfect.
Good looking whiskers on that guy.
Oh yeah, Yannick's got a solid beard going. He's got it.
Yeah, he does.
So let me ask this question. So Four Nations, I know you guys had a good time with that. You didn't get the outcome you were looking for, but you definitely look. It was subtle, Shari, very subtle. I got the impression though that you guys were keyed up for it, and I'm using the visual cues, but I feel like there was some enthusiasm. It was subtle though. It was subtle.
Yeah, that
so
was.
Do you want to share a little bit of this?
The Team Canada USA game Saturday night. We did go to the Sweden and Finland game at 1:00 earlier that afternoon, which is great. But yeah, that was the last picture I took before a full-blown brawl broke out. 3 fights, 9 seconds. It was absolutely insane.
I'm just surprised you were able to contain Brad. I'm sure you wanted to go on there and throw some fisticuffs. You held him back like it was.
It was hard, but I did hold him back.
Could have used a little bit of help there, Shari. It might have helped out. I know for a fact we've talked about it with Brad. Like his early, Q career, he did have like his goal on one shift. The thing is, he was saving the goal for like the moment like this. They could have used like his other goal. This would have been the moment. Could have got him right back up the Heartland, goal scoring chart. So while Shari's frozen, I'm just going to keep talking.
Hit space.
You look great, Shari. You froze just
I'm sure it looks wonderful.
A couple of pauses.
For the most part, Blair, actually, I was kind of impressed. It held up as well as it did from the road.
It did,
so mobile internet's is always a little iffy.
I was getting ready to show a couple of cards then if it went on any longer.
Since I do have to get to the O-Pee-Chee, let me finish then with you, and then if Brad wants to chime in, he can. So really quick, so obviously you attended the game. You were there for that. So overall, experience good. You enjoyed it for what it was. I know you've been to a couple of different games like that in that kind of situation. I've been to some international games when they did some. How'd you find that?
Oh, it was absolutely crazy. And it was such a great experience just to see that amount of talent on the ice and the crowd. It really was a great experience. And I'm so happy that even though it might have taken us 2 days and 17 hours of driving through snowstorms, that we did it.
Nice. I like it. Sounds good. So depending on my editing powers, we'll see how powerful they are. Shari stopped it. You guys should have been there. Steve gave the deepest analytical. He went to the whiteboard to give us analysis of the Four Nations game, and now it is lost to the sands of time. Blair's mind was blown. He literally had to leave the room and weep at the sheer incredibleness of this analysis, and now none of you will ever hear it. This is tragedy.
My eyes are still watering.
This is truly a national. I was in awe. It was just. You guys had to be there. It was unbelievable.
Oh, well.
Now, what's going to be funny for me...
I apologize, Steve. Maybe you'll get your moment next week.
I just think Brad and Shari, like, seething with jealousy at the sheer incredibleness of this analysis. Just like, no, the world will never hear of this ever again. And that's it. So now it's going to be fun for me. And this is going to be for editing Carlos. And those of you listening are getting the other side of it. I'm going to have to figure out exactly at what point it fully cut off. And then... when the rest of it goes. So, Four Nations, Canada lost. Very sad, very unfortunate. Brad should have fought for his country, and also he let us down. These are the important things that you need to know. Other than that, we'll kind of move on from it. I did show a couple of the images on there. If for whatever reason I wasn't able to get that didn't make the cutting room floor, I will show a couple of the images in the edit. So I will make sure they're included in there so that you didn't miss out on those. So we got that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, let me go and talk about 24-25 O-Pee-Chee Hockey, because that is what the new product that has come in. So I will be able to go over that, and then we'll touch on anything else we want to touch on. I will include a link in the description for you for the Beckett site, so you can check out the checklist. Always highly recommended. Definitely something you want to be able to do, especially if you're interested in the product. One thing 24 and 25 O-Pee-Chee is it is a more affordable brand. A lot of aspects of it are a little bit more straightforward. You're not going to get a lot of fancy technology cards. It is meant to be an homage to classic O-Pee-Chee. But if you're interested in a larger checklist and you like team collecting and stuff like that, this can actually work very well for you. So real quick, I'll go over it with you. So this is a 600 card set. So a very large base set to start off with. Again, old school, kind of that way. So it is built on it. The final 100 are a mix of all-stars and marquee rookies, and they land at 1 per hobby pack. So they're slightly short printed, but not really. You know, they're available. Again, 600 card base set, so you can build a pretty big base set out of it. You got blue border parallels are 1 in 3 packs. The yellow border are 1 in every blaster pack. Red border are 1 in 18 packs, and you do have orange borders out of 25 and printing plate 1 of 1s. So you do have some 1 of 1s on there, but they're printing plate. So there's kind of your base design. That's what a marquee rookie looks like. Very straightforward. It's kind of a just cardboard stock, kind of classic cardboard stock on that. You do have, for marquee rookies, rainbow foil out of 350, black rainbow foil out of 100, green rainbow foil out of 33, and then a gold rainbow foil 1 of 1. So you do have parallels included in these. These are exclusive to hobby packs. So your all-stars and marquee rookies are the ones that have that. All 600 cards also have a retro version that are 1 per pack. So what they did is they actually use a completely different design. So you can see right there from that Ovechkin that's showing on the screen, completely retro style design. One important thing we talked about, again, if for whatever reason it didn't come up, I'll add it in after the fact. We did some cards that came in the store, and one of them was a blast from the past Gretzky. Well, back in a couple of years back, Upper Deck was actually sued by Topps because they tried to use the 7980 Topps / O-Pee-Chee design. They did not own the rights to that. They were not allowed to do that technically, and that made them gun shy going forward of ever using a retro design unless they were sure they could get the rights for it. So when they do these retros, they're not based on any real design, but they borrow inspiration from kind of old school O-Pee-Chee designs. So that's kind of how you wind up with a lot of these. And some of them look pretty good. Like that one is very much a retro style design, and it's completely original to them. They came up with it, but they obviously drew inspiration from real stuff. So you do have inserts on there. You do have playing cards. So the O-Pee-Chee playing cards are in there if you're interested in that. They do have different odds depending on it. So it is a tiered checklist. So check out the checklist if you're curious about that. O-Pee-Chee Premier is there. So we've got that as more of a premium. Standard versions of 1 to 6 hobby packs. Hobby only diamond rainbow foil board are numbered to 75. So you do have a chase on that one as well. You do have some manufactured patches on there because a lot of sets now have them. First round draft locations, 1 in 192 packs, and a team logo update, 1 in 576 packs. So here, now this one, I'm going to criticize this and critique it a little bit. So here you've got the 3D marquee rookies that are 1 in 864 packs. So these are not available in retail. So on the one hand, I like it. It's kind of interesting looking. On the other hand, and maybe get your thoughts on this, Steve or Blair or Shari, does this really fit in kind of a retro old school design checklist? Again, I don't have a problem with the card in isolation, but then I look at O-Pee-Chee. Does this look like an O-Pee-Chee with what I just showed you from O-Pee-Chee so far?
No, I agree, and especially it's a tough pull. I'd kind of want something with a little more impressive, I guess would be the term. But yeah, it definitely doesn't fit into like a retro theme.
No,
Yeah,
it's right off. It's bringing me to like Metal Universe Hockey or something.
Yeah. And there's not, to be clear, there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
But I'm saying like it's like it sticks out a little bit compared to some of the other stuff because I've got all this kind of retro styles. Even the playing cards have kind of a nice retro-ish design, and then all of a sudden the marquee rookie one, you kind of go into space.
yeah,
It's again, I don't have a problem with the card itself, but I almost feel like it's in the wrong set. So just a personal opinion on that.
yep.
Okay. So top rookie puzzle bounties, 1 in 96 packs, encourage collectors to build a 9-card puzzle. So that is a little bit old school on there. They can register the codes to receive 3 exclusive bounty cards. So that is something. If you're interested in the bounty stuff, always get in on early. Very important. If you want to get in on bounties, do that quickly. So here's what it looks like at a glance. 10 cards per pack, 18 packs per box. So you're getting 180 cards in a box. And remember, it's a 600 card checklist. So, there's a fair bit of chasing around if you want to do that. This is a situation you might do a little trading around or find some singles or do that. Or open up a bunch of boxes, go to AMG and buy all the boxes. That might be your way. 16 boxes per case, 600 card base set size, like I said. And then what to expect in a box. 4 O-Pee-Chee playing cards, 3 O-Pee-Chee Premier, 18 retro cards, so 1 per pack, 4 blue border parallels, 1 red border parallel, 3 serial numbered parallels in a box, and then 1 additional chase card. And as always, you do have a full checklist of everything on here. You can follow for variations. There are variations on here that weren't noted. Black and white test proof variant. So keep an eye on that. That's there. And you've got a checklist of those. Draft photo variants. So these are some of your additional chases. There is some additional stuff in there that you can chase after. You do have some inserts. So your 3D Marquee Rookies checklist, you've got 12 cards in that checklist, so you can follow through with that. And you can check it out. You'll see a lot of different options available to it. And you can see the full checklist, team sets, and download an Excel spreadsheet if you want to. So that is 2425 O-Pee-Chee Hockey. So as I said, it is a more affordable box compared to some of the other ones because it is meant to give you an old school. Again, you're getting more cards. It's got kind of a straightforward design. If you like building team checklists and stuff, it's pretty good because you've got a bigger checklist. Any other kind of thoughts on that for O-Pee-Chee compared to some of the other products that have been coming in, Steve, Blair, or Shari?
No, it's just a fun product, and like you said, it's affordable. So, it's a big set, but a lot of people like putting it together because it's a little reminiscent of the the 70s and 80s sets where there's a large number of cards, but definitely something that you can sink your teeth into and put together rather inexpensively.
Yeah, it's always a popular set. Usually sells pretty well, and obviously, like Steve said, price point helps, and it is a collectible set. So, looking forward to it.
I like it. So that leaves us with one thing to do remaining. There's only one thing. This is the most important thing, and it's the only way we can redeem ourselves from the unfortunateness of the way this has worked out. Blair, give us some You God. It's all about the You God. This is how we're going to save ourselves. Like
this wasn't easy. I want to state that first. Let's see. Oh, we always go
right in the middle of the screen, Blair. Right over your head.
My camera is offset here. That's my first You God.
Amazing.
Sensational.
Right. Blair, you're in the middle of the screen. If you put it in front of your face. Blair, do you know where your face is relative to the camera? Right here, directly in front of you.
Right at the camera. Right there. It's offset a little bit. My thing is turned like this. So anyway,
Steve, I think this is very appropriate. I think this is right on brand. This episode has turned out so well. I am so proud of us.
I think we should just scratch it and start all over again.
Nope, Steve. I am not a quitter.
Brad's thunder. And
to be clear, I am not a quitter, Steve.
Yeah,
I am not a quitter, Steve. We don't do that around here. Like all I'm saying, I don't know what happens with the cow patties over there, but we don't quit, Steve. We don't quit.
I would throw in the towel on this one.
Here, and look, and here's what I got. At least we got Brad and Shari very happy with the team together. There. So we got that.
Totally redeemed it.
See, this is Shari why I host the show, because I'm not going to allow the team to quit. I'm going to drag you all kicking and screaming to the end of the episode, no matter what happens. So let's get it.
You might need to take a grab while watching this episode from my camera bouncing around.
Yeah, I'm a little queasy.
So good.
That's why I couldn't hold the cards properly. I was following Shari.
Oh, I see. That's the reason why. Wow, it all comes together right there at the end. Not even You God can save us all. We tried, but not even You God was enough. Anyway, so that's it for episode 68. If you listen to this in audio, you've completely missed it. Like, there was so much that you could have enjoyed it. You gotta watch the video on this one. This one's a lot of fun. Check out the store. Again, Trade Night and Card Show. So that is coming up this week. So at the time this is dropping, you will get that this week. If you got questions about any of the products we talked about, reach out directly to the store. Best way to get the answers. That way you'll know pricing, availability, all that good stuff. The card of the week, I think some of that, from what I can see here, it looks like all that came through. So the cards that I showcased there. So if you are curious about any of those, reach out to the store directly. That way you'll get answers. And if you go to the store, you'll actually be able to see You God in front of you instead of to the side of you or cut off 3/4 of the way. You know, you'll be able to fully bask in the glow that is You God.
Not really, because I'm keeping them in my office. So
Well, that's fair.
we'll have to set up viewing times or something.
Also, Carlos, I'd like to point out we have some good news as far as PWHL.
Yes.
It was in such short supply, and we sold out right away, and we're receiving 5 to 10 calls a week about it. We were just informed that we will be getting more and a bigger supply of it. I think it's still a few months away, but just for our customers out there, know it is coming. And as it approaches, we'll let you know, but definitely a larger supply than before. And everyone should be able to, to get a hobby box or two.
Excellent. Very good. So on that note, again, once that becomes available, you'll be able to reach out directly. So that's the best way. Last thing I'll mention to you is that the eBay auctions are happening Sunday to Sunday. So that is always there. Links are in the description for you, so you can check that out. And then maybe next week or the following, we'll be able to, we'll get Brad on again and gave his analysis and also explain to us why he let us down as a nation. Because I don't want to miss that. I think there are explanations that must be given. I am personally starting the inquiry, and we will make sure we get answers one way or the other. I'm not allowing technical difficulties to deny us. Also, go into the store and ask Steve about Four Nations. He won't be able to give you exactly what we saw. It was scintillating. But he can give you a tribute.
Yeah,
he can give you a tribute. He can give you like a scaled down version. It won't reduce you fully to tears, but your eyes might mist up a little bit. It's quite a bit. So, anything else all of you want to say for yourselves after I salvage this?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Card show Saturday.
Card show Saturday, and don't forget to our eBay auctions also run Sunday to Sunday.
There you go. Perfect. All right. So for Shari and Brad on the road, we got that on there. For Shari and Brad on the road, bonus player here, keep guarding the You God cards. Steve, collected the scalps, collected people. AMG episode 68 in 2 parts, based on however editing works out. Thank you very much. We'll catch you in the next one.